And now here to provide us with some more insights into the evolving United States foreign policy is Professor of Communications and International Relations at Bar-Ilan University and expert on American-Israeli relations, as well as on U.S.-Middle East policy, Eytan Gilboa. Professor, thank you so much for being with us. Now, the United States is saying that the Iranians must return to the nuclear deal and show that they're following it before the United States returns to the deal themselves. But Iran is saying that the United States must first reverse sanctions and comply with the JCPOA themselves before they do. What do you think is going to happen?
These statements seem to be irreconcilable, but they are. These are only opening statements in a pre-negotiation phase. The sides are just presenting what they think should be done first. The solution is a gradual approach, which on the one hand would reduce gradually the American sanctions, and in return for gradual stop for the Iranian recent violations of the 2015 agreement. This means compliance for compliance. Both sides are eager to sign a new agreement. So I think this is what we're going to see in the next few weeks.
All right, well, with that in mind, I mean, we're basically talking about negotiations between Washington and Tehran, and historically in the Obama administration with President Biden as vice president, you know, they got a lot of flack or a lot of criticism for their lack of negotiating skills opposite Iran. So, you know, looking back on the Obama and Trump administrations, do you think that the Biden team has learned anything about how to negotiate and, you know, from their previous so-called weaknesses?
Hopefully, they had learned. The Iranians are much better negotiators than the Americans. There is always a tendency to believe sides that sign agreements. This is not the case. Iran has been cheating and lying about its nuclear weapons program for years. There is no reason to believe that this is going to change. If the Biden administration people who negotiated the 2015 deal will be busy just proving that they were right, the agreement was good, Trump's was wrong, then obviously they would be making the same mistakes. In 2015, 2014, the United States robbed itself of two important cards in the negotiations. First, they were too eager to sign the agreement. Second, they de facto removed the military action. It seems that these two conditions are still present today, and it gives advantages to the Iranian side.
All right, so I want to move over to a different part of the Middle East now, to the United Arab Emirates and to Saudi Arabia, for that matter. The Biden team now halting munition sales and the sales of F-35s as negotiated by the Trump administration. Is this going to have any, you know, retroactive effect on the Abraham Accords or on peace and ties between the United States and the Gulf and Israel in the Gulf?
It could, but there is a difference between the UAE and the Saudi agreements. I think that there should be continuation in policy, and if the Trump administration signed an agreement, the Biden administration should follow through. The United States, the Democrats, are not that happy with America selling sophisticated weapons to any of the Gulf countries. The radical branch of the Democratic Party, which call itself progressive, thinks that these countries in the Gulf are the most reactionary in the world. From Saudi Arabia, I think they would seek a commitment to stop using bombs on civilians in Yemen. I think that the agreement with the UAE will be implemented.
All right. Well, we are waiting anxiously to see the results of what will happen next. We hope to have you back at that time. Professor Gilboa, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.